The War Thunder community is in a delicate state right now. With multiple big name YouTubers all saying that the game is going to hell, I'd like to voice my opinions on what the current state of the game is, at least through my eyes. Now, I will say that some days I feel really burnt out with this game and I don't even want to touch it, but usually when I'm at work, it's the only thing I'm thinking about is, ooh, I want to play War Thunder right now. So, while I yap about the current state of the game, I just recently researched the Leopard 2A7 for Hungary, and I'm currently stock grinding it, so here's some footage of me just playing Italy in general in the background. Now, I do need to make a disclaimer for this. These are my personal opinions, and I may not share the same views as you do. I'm basing my opinions based on my current standing in the game and my enjoyment levels in War Thunder. So, I guess, viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, the first thing I want to talk about is the Senai Maiden tanks. Now, I personally believe these are good for the game, and let me tell you why. So, if you have been living under a rock the last couple of weeks, Gaijin did release 3 new Senai Maiden tanks. The ones that they added was the Emily Challenger for the Irish tech tree, the Usagi Fuji for Japan, and finally the Ling MBT 2000 for China. All of these are just copy and paste from another vehicle that's already premium in the tech tree, but they have special skins and also special voice acting. Now, why do I think these are good for the game? Hopefully it will help with the one spawn issue during high-end top-tier gaming. As you'll see in the gameplay in the background, I use backups almost religiously. I want to get research for certain vehicles because I'm trying to work on spades. But most players don't actually use backups, so a lot of them will buy one tank and then just leave after they die once. This will also just give players more of a lineup to play with. Yeah, you're going to be playing the same copy and paste tank if you already have the other one, but it just gives you more time to play because activity percentage is important for getting research. Now we have to talk about the elephant in the room about these Senai Maiden tanks, the AI usage. People were very quick to find that Gemini was actually used for textures on the Emily tank. Gaijin put out a statement saying that an outside contractor was responsible for this, and to be honest, I believe them. The reason why I believe them, Gaijin currently operates 12 live service games. Now this is a lot for a big developer, and I wouldn't even consider Gaijin a very big developer. The counts are kind of muddy because they are a private company, but sources claim that they have between 200 and 500 employees. To put it bluntly, Gaijin is operating the same number of games that some studios have 10,000 employees. So are they going to need outside help? Of course. This is a massive game, and it keeps growing every day, so they have to have outside help. Also, there was an opening at Gaijin for a VFX director, and that's a good sign that they probably fired the person who did that, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any more AI for a little bit. Now, the use of AI in War Thunder is really disappointing, but if we take what Gaijin said, I really don't think it's going to ruin the game. It's a very small detail, but they also issued an apology saying, hey, it wasn't our fault. Personally, I bought all 3 of them. I didn't even notice the Gemini logo, but I was just having fun with it. And would I recommend them? 100%. I think they're super goofy and so fun. And now the next thing. Nuclear Thunder is making its return. Now, if you watched Bean Turtle and I on our live stream, which shout out, come and watch us by the way, you'll know that I had a very bad time with Nuclear Thunder. The first day I thought was great, but then it just got worse and worse and worse. Nuclear Thunder just got to a point where I had to GE the task because I only died to trees and AA. Now, since Nuclear Thunder's only be at top tier, I think this could be a very good thing or a very bad thing for the game. I think it'll be much more balanced on the player versus player because MiG-29s won't be fighting F-4 Phantoms, for example. But this is also going to be very dependent on how oppressive the SPAAs are. If they are as bad as when the mode first came out, I probably won't play it at all. Once the anti-radiation missiles are actually implemented and given to aircraft, I think it'll be a great thing as long as the SPAA aren't shooting them down non-stop. But if the AA are going to be super oppressive again, it's just going to lead to people just doing BVR fights, which you can just play air realistic for that, or simulator. But my hopes are high for Nuclear Thunder, and I really hope that Gaijin listens to the player base and starts to fix this game mode. Now, I've been playing a lot more ground recently than I have air. I used to be an air main, but Bean Turtle kind of got me into playing more ground. But the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that we still don't have any changes to ground battles. Now, yeah, we have a little variation between like domination and battle and just conquest, but they're all kind of just the same game mode. Whoever caps points wins. It's really that easy, or you just kill the other team. It's kind of boring. Now, personally, this is my opinion, but I think a Battlefront Supremacy kind of game mode would be so cool for War Thunder. If you haven't played the 2017 Battlefront 2, this is what I'm talking about. The Supremacy mode, you have a certain set objective, and then you move to another area, and then that's how you win the game. I think something like that for War Thunder would be so cool. And you know what the crazy thing is? They already have it in the game. They just refuse to put it into ground battles. Now, what I need to say, some people may click off, but don't click off, it's in naval. So I scoured the internet to try to find a picture of one of these maps, but for some reason I cannot find it. So we're going to use our imagination just a little bit here, but I know they exist. I am not schizophrenic. So we're going to use our imagination on this map. There's the A point, the B point, and the C point, but there's also going to be some hidden points that are the D and the E point. And yes, I know, attack the D point and all that. But now imagine, you have to capture all three of these zones as a team, and then you can start to proceed to this hidden zone in order to cap that for the win, just like a battle map. So it would combine the conquest and battle map and give your team an actual objective to fight towards. Now, I think this is just one of the ways that we could start to improve the ground RB, and at least the maps. But there's a whole lot of issues that I'm not even going to go into. That's a whole separate video. And so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. But what I'm trying to get at is in a day, I'll see maybe 4 different maps, and I'm playing the same 2 different versions of it, a battle or conquest. I'm just kind of getting sick of it. I want something that where I feel that my team and I can actually work towards a common goal. All right, next topic. Now, a lot of people are complaining that more premium vehicles are being added than tech tree vehicles in these updates. But have you ever thought that Gaijin is a business? They want to make money. Now, that is a gross oversimplification, but it kind of is true. They are a business, and they do need to make money somehow. And people complain about all these new premiums coming to the game, but it's keeping the servers alive and keeps this game that some of us have been playing for 10 or 12 years, it's keeping it up. But Gaijin also knows that people want brand new premiums that people can buy, and they can get through a tech tree to get whatever vehicle they want in the tech tree. Now, this is a good thing because you're able to fill out these higher battle ratings a lot easier than if you weren't to sell them. What a lot of people don't understand is that if nobody buys these premiums, there's going to be other paywalls. Premium time is going to go way up. They're not going to add these premium vehicles because no one's buying them, and then they're just going to start charging you in order to play the game. You're going to have to pay a monthly subscription just in order to log in. And by all means, you don't have to buy premiums. But when these big YouTubers are saying, oh, I think we should stop buying premiums, the whole community, well, that's just a bad thing because it's just going to hurt other players who are free to play and things like that. Let's think back to when you first downloaded War Thunder. For me, I only started playing because the A10 came to the game. I saw that I could just buy an A10, and hey, cool. And now I'm stuck with this game. I've spent a ton of money into this game, and I'm kind of okay with it because I love this game. And since we're talking about premiums, I cannot skip over the brand new F14D. Now, I know a lot of players are very upset that the F14D is a premium, but I kind of like the idea. I think the fact that this is going to be a premium is going to be really good because you're going to have a lot more F-14s in games, and it's really going to counter the Russian and Chinese Su-30s. Now, if you haven't played any high-tier air, the Su-30s just plague all of air realistic games. They are so annoying because they're really the only vehicles that are premium that have Fox 3s, aside from the Swedish JA-37. So I think swarms of F-14s are really going to help counter those Su-30 players as long as people start to figure out how to actually play the F-14. And really, I think it kind of needed to be premium. The F-14D never actually saw service. Usually, premium vehicles are ones that saw very limited or almost no service. And the F-14D, it's just a perfect contender for the premium category. Now, I really wish the F-14D would get AMRAMs. It would be an immediate purchase for me if it did, but I'm still going to get it so I can do a review on it. But I think it really should have the AMRAMs. I know the AMRAMs weren't actually tested on the D variant. It was only tested on the A variant, but I think it would be a solid counter since it never truly saw service. Gaijin likes to make things up every once in a while, so why not make it up for this? And if you don't think Gaijin likes to make things up, Cage 59s. Oh man, what was that? If you're playing this battle rating that the F-14 is going to be in and you're not playing as US, Think about all the food that you're going to get. People like to complain that it's going to be premium, but all these low-level people are going to be buying it, and then you can easily just snipe them out of the air. So really, it's only going to really help you if you're not playing as US. Also, after my little coughing spree there, I would be amiss if I didn't talk about how unbalanced ground realistic is at the highest level. So if you're actually watching what's happening in the background here and not just listening to me, you'll see that I'm playing as Italy and I'm just getting stomped on by these Russian teams. Now, some people will say, oh, Russian bias doesn't exist, but the KH-59 exists, the BMPT exists, and so does the Pantsir SMSV. It exists. Now, what's really infuriating about this is if you spawn a plane, an SMSV can kill you as soon as you spawn. If you try to go take some points, the BMPT will punish you if you miss a shot, and it's volumetric as all hell. And then you've got the Russian Su-30s that are carrying the KH-59s that, guess what? You're going to get no indication whatsoever that they're being launched. They go about 3 times faster than anything in the NATO side, and it's one hit every single time. Russia is just breaking everything at top tier. They have an outrageous win rate, and if you try to queue up with a friend of yours who mains Russia, you won't get into a game if you're playing as other countries, because they just can't do it. So Gaijin really needs to fix this. I don't know, like maybe just start doing mixed battles like in air where Russia's just on both teams. I think that would make it a little bit better, but I know I'm yapping at this point, but I just had to bring this up because this is one of my genuine feelings after doing 380,000 research in about 30 hours. Now the last thing that I want to talk about is Gaijin needs to do more ban waves. At the current moment, Gaijin does ban waves very infrequently, anywhere between 3 and 6 months at a time. But this is just giving cheaters and people who are just doing all the wrong things way too much time to play the game. One of my biggest problems with Gaijin not doing these ban waves very frequently are bot accounts. Now, if you know anything about me, I like to spade almost everything that I own, and I'm working on getting that. But I've got to play a lot of 4.0 air, and bot accounts run 4.0. It is the worst thing. So what these bot accounts will do is they're always in the same 3 types of aircraft. Either the French B-26, the Russian B-25, or the Chinese B-25. All they do is they dive toward a base and then they fly off into the corner of the map and wait for the game to end. And every time I come across these accounts, I always report them. But I don't get anything about saying, oh, these people were banned, until the ban wave comes around and I find their name in the spreadsheet. And if you would like to do your part in reporting these bot accounts, go play some 4.0. Check every single player who's in a bomber. If their stats say that they've only played like 5 aircraft in realistic and all 3 of them are bombers, and they have like 700 games in that bomber, guess what? It's probably a bot account. So report them and let's try to get these people banned. And if you're curious what these bot accounts actually do, what they're doing is they're researching an entire air tech tree, and then these accounts just get sold. So that also breaks Gaijin's TOS. So if you really want to screw with these bot accounts, just start reporting them and get them banned, and we just ruin that guy's business. But that's all the things that I really wanted to get off my chest. You know, these big YouTubers keep saying, oh, I'm going to give up my partnership, I'm going to stop playing the game because of these updates, but I really don't think the game is in that bad of a condition right now. And I can say that the game is not in a bad condition because the player count just keeps growing. If you go on Steam and look at how many players are logging in, it's a growing community. And I'm reading comments about people who say that they're quitting, but the people who say they're quitting are the small minority. They're not the type of people who are staying around for these updates and wanting the game to improve. They are the people who want things to stay exactly the same. But if you'd like a part 2 to this and there's some things that you think I missed, make sure to let me know in the comments. I'd be more than willing to make a part 2 to this video. And make sure to like and subscribe if you thought this video was helpful in any way, or you just like to hear me yap about things that are pretty pointless in the grand scheme of things. But that's all I have for you guys today, and hopefully your grind goes well, and I'll see you next time, Zinners.